Commissioner Roger Goodell.
With the third pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Trey Lance, quarterback, North Dakota State.
And it is the Bison, Trey Lance. Just 17 career starts. Only one game due to COVID this year. A young man from a small town in Minnesota. Couldn't get recruited by many Power 5 schools as a quarterback, and he decided to bet on himself and believe in himself. He is a quarterback, he thought. North Dakota State agreed. He had 17 stellar starts for them, and now he strolls to an NFL draft floor, tears in his eyes, as the quarterback of the future of the San Francisco 49ers. What a moment. It's Trey Lance, everybody, which means Justin Fields and Mac Jones are still on the board. We'll discuss that in a moment. But for the moment, let's take this in.
This is big. I'm excited for Trey Lance. This is somebody, again, you mentioned it, Rich. He bet on himself. Think about a life change. When I talked to him, I asked him what he was doing, wondering if there was going to be a season. He was trying to work out and throw. He was spending some time babysitting a family's kid so he could make some money to live while he was staying in Fargo. And now, fast forward, he only plays one game this year. He's the third pick in the draft, going into an unbelievable situation with the 49ers. Great for him.
Breaking news here on NFL Total Access. Movement in the Trey Lance saga after he did not win the QB2 job at San Francisco. The 49ers have now found a trade partner, and our NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport has all of the details on Lance staying in the NFC and heading down to Dallas to be now with the Cowboys. All right, Ian, let's talk about how this deal got done for number 3 overall pick just a couple of years ago, now on his way to Dallas.
Yeah, as soon as it became clear that the San Francisco 49ers did not have Trey Lance in their plans, they started working the phones, called, really it seemed like as many teams as possible. I know the Minnesota Vikings, his hometown team, were one rumored. They really did call everyone, though. And the Dallas Cowboys, who've had, I would say, a little bit of a need at backup quarterback for the last several years, now not only fill the need now, potentially, but also give them a little upside for the future. It is a mid to late round draft pick going from the Dallas Cowboys to the San Francisco 49ers. I think most importantly for the 49ers, they clear Lance's salary. It's not just this year, $900,000. It is $5 million fully guaranteed for next year that the Dallas Cowboys take on. It is an upside proposition. Obviously, the Cowboys hope that Trey Lance turns into what some people thought he would be in the draft. But I think most importantly now, Dallas solidifies their quarterback room, and the San Francisco 49ers move on for a trade and then a selection that simply did not work out.
So Brock Purdy QB1, Sam Darnold QB2, and Trey Lance now on the way to the Dallas Cowboys is where we are at. Ian, thank you very much. Again, this was the tweet you sent out seconds ago before we welcomed you on here to NFL Total Access. Process of completing the trade of Trey Lance. He now gets a fresh start.
With the second pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Zach Wilson, quarterback, BYU.
And as you can see, Zach Wilson is here. And on top of his already elite quarterback hair, he puts a New York Jets take flight cap on his lid. And is this young man the savior that the Jets organization and their fans have been searching for since Broadway Joe Namath? We've heard about Broadway Joe and then Broadway Mark Hamilton on Broadway. Now it is Zach's Fifth Avenue in New York City. Daniel, take the floor, sir.
Zach's Fifth Avenue, brand that one right now. Look, this is a player that brings a lot of energy, some confidence, borderline cockiness, which is what the Jets actually love about him.
From the NFL, where Zach Wilson has been traded to the Denver Broncos. That is the latest from our NFL insider, Jonathan Jones. The Jets will receive a late-round pick swap in the deal that will also retain a chunk of Wilson's $5.5 million salary. For Wilson, it closes the book on a rough 3 seasons in New York after being taken second overall in the 2021 draft. He heads to a Denver team with a lot of questions at the quarterback position. Wilson joins Jarrett Stidham and Ben DiNucci in the Broncos quarterback room heading into this week's NFL Draft. Get reaction to this from our guy Lige Duzable. Yeah, first I'll ask you, like, the news just came down. We were kind of talking about Wilson earlier in the day on HQ, but how do you like this move for him, your reaction to it?
I love it for Zach Wilson because at certain points in your career, sometimes a fresh start.
Who it is?
With the 10th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Patrick Mahomes, the second quarterback.
It is Patrick Mahomes, the second, not Deshaun Watson. That was the apple of the Reed Dorsey eye in Kansas City. That's the quarterback of the future that they're putting the eggs in the Mahomes basket.
Yes, sir.
In the heartland for the Chiefs. The Honda War Room cam shows handshakes and celebration breaking out there in Kansas City, Missouri, where it'll still be obviously Alex Smith's gig in 2017. Do we assume that?
I think this is Alex Smith's job. But to me, the interesting thing is, with Pat Mahomes, I've said through this whole process, he lives outside the structure of the offense. And the only guy I've seen have long-term success living on that edge is a guy number 4 that played for Green Bay. And where did John Dorsey come from, and who did Andy Reid coach?
No doubt that at 6'2", 225, he's got arm strength like a Brett Favre. He is a big-time gunslinger like Brett Favre. He's got the arm. He's got the athletic ability. My question is, can he learn to win in the pocket? Because to play in the NFL, the search point, you have to. Now, watch him step up in the pocket here, which he doesn't do enough of, and then just the quick snap throw. It doesn't get any better than that throw. Now, he was showing off here. I was there at the end of his pro day. That went like 80 yards or something crazy. Look at him go to his left. He can throw from any platform, any place on the field with accuracy. Now, steps up in the pocket. He goes from left arm to right arm, directs traffic, makes you miss. And there's his athletic ability. Drafted in baseball. Here's what you don't like. Throwing off his back foot into traffic. That happens too often. So the key here, and I think it's a wonderful marriage, is that Andy Reid will be a great developer of his talent. He gets to sit in a room every day with Alex Smith, who has as much gigabytes as any quarterback in football, and learn how to grind.
Kurt Warner, what do you think about it? And with a half an hour to go until the Browns are on the clock, Ian Rappaport, what are you hearing about in the draft buzz?
Rich, there's 2 teams we are keeping an eye on now. First of all, the Kansas City Chiefs. I am told they are making the most noise of any team plotting a potential move up.
The Kansas City Chiefs no longer have a first-round pick. Wow. They just traded it along with the 91st overall pick to move up 17 spots.
All right, 30 seconds, we'll turn it in. Don't drag it out. Okay. We're good? Let's turn it. All right, read it back to me and then let's turn it in.
With the 10th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft,
Partisan. All right, congratulations.
the Kansas City Chiefs select Patrick Mahomes, the second quarterback.
I tell you what, our entire group here is really, really excited. Andy and his offensive staff, they're going to do a great job.
I told you were going to get this ball. Huh? It's a great night, great day. Enjoy it. And we're fired up, man.
Look down, find the red, white, blue line. There you go, good. Nice job, get back. Nice job, get back. Nice job, get back. Right, nice job. Good job.
Big trade happening in the AFC involving Stephon Diggs, who is about to enter his 10th season in the NFL, now with his third team getting traded from the Bills to the Houston Texans. Joining me now, NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport. Ian, good morning to you. What more can you tell us about what's going on with the AFC right now?
Yeah, a massive trade for the Houston Texans, who are going all in now, adding another big-time weapon. Late in free agency, we've seen them do a ton on defense. Now on offense, they have agreed to terms on a trade for Stephon Diggs, the star receiver for the Buffalo Bills, the somewhat disgruntled receiver who has made a lot of noise about potentially being moved over the course of the last, let's say, 2 years. Those rumors are now over. It is now reality. Stephon Diggs goes to the Houston Texans in exchange for a 2025 second-round pick. Texans have a couple of them. This one is Minnesota's, so Minnesota's former second-round pick for 2025 goes now to the Buffalo Bills. So the Bills are giving a fifth-rounder in 2025, a sixth-rounder this year, and, of course, Stephon Diggs. And these are the kinds of trades for the Houston Texans you can make when you have a star quarterback on a rookie contract you can load up. You don't have to worry so much about draft picks because you got a good base here. They added a lot in free agency. Now, late here before the draft, they fill what seems to be their final hole. Stephon Diggs goes from the Bills to the Houston Texans.
Ian, you just touched on there what this means for the Texans, of course, winning the AFC South in that win-now mode with DeMeco Ryan, C.J. Stroud. How about the Bills, though? 445 receptions, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, since Stephon Diggs joined the Bills back in 2020, the most of any wide receiver quarterback duo in the NFL. What does this mean now for Josh Allen and the Bills?
Well, what the Bills have basically done this offseason is essentially go through a full reset. I mean, we've seen them say goodbye to some really expensive, very, very good veterans, from center Mitch Morse to star corner Tre'Davious White, and now to Stephon Diggs. Seems to be a salary cap reset, and maybe a little bit of a locker room reset as well. Diggs is productive as any receiver in the NFL. Maybe more productive, certainly one of the best there is. But year after year, rumor after rumor, we saw it when he was in Minnesota. Now it had happened in Buffalo, making plenty of noise about potentially being moved. You follow his social media, you for sure see it. Does seem like the Bills at some point go, you know what, it's just time to move on. It's not like they got a huge bounty picks. A future second rounder isn't a ton to get for a star receiver. That is an indication that at least the Bills were more than okay moving on from Diggs. So a clean slate, I would say, for the 2024 season.
And the Bills right now holding the 28th pick in this year's NFL draft. Of course, just 22 days away. We'll see how these next 22 days shake up. Ian, thank you as always. We'll have much more on all the trades going on in the NFL this offseason coming up later on NFL Total Access. You can catch that at 7 p.m. Eastern. Thanks again.